Hi everyone, this is Sri G. Veeranna, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, JVR Government College, Sattupalli, Khammam District. Welcome to today's class. Today's class is amines. We have already taken about amines in the previous class, and in the previous class we have explained about what are the aliphatic amines, aromatic amines, and the classification of amines, primary amines, secondary amines, tertiary amines, and quaternary ammonium salts, and nomenclature of amines, isomerism of amines. And we have already explained a few preparation methods of amines, that are ammonolysis of alkyl halides and Gabriel thalamide synthesis. We have already explained that methods, and objectives of today's class. After completion of this lesson, this topic, you are able to understand the preparation of amines. Mainly the most important method is there, that is Hofmann hypobromide reaction, and also Curtius reaction with reaction mechanism, and physical properties of amines, and basic nature of amines. Basic nature of amines and preparation of amines. And the first method is ammonolysis of primary methyl halides or alkyl halides. We have already explained yesterday, that is alkyl halide and treating with ammonia and elimination of minus HX, primary amines are formed, and these primary amines on treating with same alkyl halide gives secondary amines, and in continuation tertiary amines, and finally quaternary ammonium salts. And in this reaction, the main disadvantage is all the amines are mixture of all type of amines with quaternary ammonium salt is formed, and a primary amine which is formed in the first step, it acts as a nucleophile and attacks alkyl halide to form secondary amine, and so on for tertiary amine and quaternary ammonium salts. So to avoid this, if you can take excess amount of ammonia in the first step, we can get primary amine is the main product, and the remaining are the secondary, tertiary, quaternary is the small fractions. This method is most suitable for preparation of alkyl amines, but aryl amines is not prepared by this method. And here one more example is there, C4H9Br butyl bromide or N butyl bromide, and N butyl amine is formed. And this is also we have explained reduction of nitriles and amides, and this is the Gabriel synthesis of primary amines. We have already explained this one. So phthalimide on treating with potassium hydroxide gives potassium phthalimide, and potassium phthalimide on reaction with alkyl halides in presence of DMF solvent gives N-alkyl phthalimide. N-alkyl phthalimide on acidic or basic hydrolysis gives alkyl amine RNH2, and this is the phthalic acid. So here explained potassium phthalimide and alkyl halide and N-alkyl phthalimide, and upon hydrolysis gives rise to RNH2 and phthalic acid. And here Hoffman and Curtis rearrangement, and this type of rearrangement is explained by from amides. So here carboxylic acid derivatives can be converted into primary amines with loss of one carbon atom by both the Hoffman rearrangement and the Curtis rearrangement. So Hoffman rearrangement is RC double bond ONH2, that is the amide, and this reaction is also in presence of sodium hydroxide with bromine gives RNH2 and CO2 by loss of one carbon, that is eliminated as carbon dioxide. We can explain this reaction in the next slide. And Curtis rearrangement is also a reaction. In the final product it gives its homologous, that means one carbon is decreased from the starting material. So in this reaction, Curtis rearrangement, we can take carboxylic acid, that is RCOOH, carboxylic acid, on treating with PCl5 and gives RCOCl, that is acid chloride, and this upon treating with NaN3, and it gives an acyl azide, this one RC double bond O N3. So this acyl azide on treating with chloroform gives alkyl isocyanate, and this alkyl isocyanate presence of potassium hydroxide gives potassium carbonate and primary amine. That's the one way, and the another way is acyl azide on H2O and heating RNH2, CO2 and N2. So NaN3 and treating with chloroform CHCl3, we got RN double bond C double bond O. This is alkyl isocyanate. This alkyl isocyanate upon treating with K2CO3 gives KOH gives RNH2 and K2CO3. So I can give this reaction very clearly. So simply Hoffman this reaction we can explain later, Hoffman, and this is Curtis reaction, that is carboxylic acids RC double bond OOH treating with PCl5 RCOCl, and this RCOCl treating with NaN3 sodium azide gives RC double bond O N3. So that is this one, and this acyl azide treating with chloroform CHCl3 gives RC double bond O R N double bond C double bond O. So this is alkyl isocyanate, and this upon treating with KOH and gives RNH2. So this is the primary amine, and the remaining C double bond O and O and another O. This is converted as K2CO3. This is the byproduct. So acyl azide is obtained from carboxylic acid. It is boiled with benzene or chloroform to form isocyanate. This isocyanate, which on hydrolysis with alkali in presence of alkali, forms primary amine. This reaction is known as Curtis reaction or Curtis rearrangement reaction. Okay, that is the Curtis rearrangement or Curtis reaction. Curtis reaction is nothing but carboxylic acids on treating with PCl5 gives its halide, that is acid halide RCOCl, acetyl chloride, and this RCOCl treating with sodium azide NaN3 gives acyl azide, acyl chloride treating with NaNO3, acyl azide. This acyl azide in presence of benzene or chloroform gives alkyl isocyanate and elimination of nitrogen N2, and this alkyl isocyanate in presence of alkali KOH on hydrolysis gives primary amine. So here RCO, here only R, this carbon is eliminated as carbon dioxide. So this is the Curtis reaction or Curtis rearrangement. And now azide synthesis, selective preparation of primary amines from the azide synthesis. Azide ion N3 minus displaces a halide ion from a primary or secondary alkyl halide to give an alkyl azide or N3. Alkyl azides are not nucleophilic, but they are explosive. Reduction gives the primary amine. So this is the 1-bromo-2-phenyl ethane treating with NaN3 in ethanol. So this is the 2-phenyl ethyl azide. 2-phenyl ethyl azide upon reduction, that is in presence of sodium lithium aluminum hydride and followed by H2O, and gives 2-phenyl ethylamine. That product is 89%. And this is our reaction. That is the most important reaction, Hofmann bromide reaction or Hofmann hypobromide reaction. Hofmann hypobromide reaction. This is a degradation reaction in which an amide is treated with bromine in an aqueous or ethanolic solution of sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide to give a primary amine with one carbon atom less than the original amide. It involves the migration of an alkyl or aryl group from the carbonyl carbon atom of the amide to the nitrogen atom. This is the most convenient method for the preparation of primary amines. This method is the most convenient method for the preparation of primary amines. And in this reaction, amides are reaction with alkali with one halogen, that is bromine, Br2. So gives alkyl amine or RNH2, and elimination of this carbonate, sodium carbonate or potassium carbonate, and here also sodium bromide or potassium bromide, and water. And if you take example, here benzamide plus Br2 gives aniline, or you can write CH3 C double bond O NH2 and CH3 NH2. Okay, this is the acetamide methylamine, presence of Br2 and NaOH. So this reaction involves with halogen atom, that is bromine or chlorine, and alkali, that is NaOH or KOH. This reaction involves halogen, that is bromine or chlorine. Bromine is the most convenient, and alkali, sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. If you observe this reaction, we have mechanism is there. So in this reaction, one of the carbon is eliminated as carbon dioxide, and the starting carbons is here 2 carbons, here only 1 carbon in the product. That means 1 carbon less in the starting material into the product. So mechanism, so here is the mechanism involves mainly 5 steps. In the step 1, observe here, this is the step 1. In the step 1, halogenation of amide to give an halobromide, or halogenation of amide to give an halobromide. So that is RC double bond O NH2 acid amide in presence of alkali, that is OH minus, and it is RCO minus double bond NH and Br. So here this is the N bromamide NHBr. So that this reaction is RC double bond O NHBr. So that is N bromamide ion or N bromamide. The first step involves the halogenation of the amide to give an bromamide. So The second step involves the reaction with potassium hydroxide, which removes hydrogen of the NHBr. So this OH minus enters into the here. This OH minus here, and this hydrogen, and this is the becomes O minus, and this is eliminating fraction, that is Br. So RCO and N and Br. So this species is formed, this species is formed. So one H is, or hydrogen is removed from N bromamide, NHBr here, and this is the symbol NBr. So this hydrogen and this OH becomes as elimination of water. So that is the second step. And in third step, here in the third step, Br ion is separated. So here negative charge of O can comes here, then this travels here, and Br eliminates. So that is, we got this one, that is RN C double bond O. RN C double bond O. Before that we have this one. So that is, we can write here very simple, R C double bond O and N having 6 electrons, that is electron deficient. N having 6 electrons, that is electron deficient. That's why the alkyl group, this alkyl group is shifts towards nitrogen, and Br eliminates, and we got this one, this fraction, that is Rn double bond C double bond O, that is alkyl isocyanate. This is the shift or rearrangement, intramolecular rearrangement. Alkyl group is migrating from carbon to nitrogen of the same molecule. Alkyl group is migrating from carbon to nitrogen in the same molecule. So we called this kind of rearrangement is intramolecular rearrangement. So R alkyl group migrates from carbon to electron deficient center. So this nitrogen is electron deficient center to form alkyl isocyanate. And this alkyl isocyanate, on treating with water H2O, and here one mole, and we got RNH2, this hydrogen, this RNH2, and this is the CO2. Okay, this is the mechanism. So I can show you in a simplified way. Simplified way is nothing but R RC double bond O NH2, and treating with Br2 we got RC double bond O NHBr. This is nothing but N bromamide. N bromamide is formed. That is the first step. And the second step, N bromamide is eliminates hydrogen from NHBr. That is, potassium hydroxide base is eliminates this one. So minus H minus H so we got I can write here RC double bond O N minus and electron deficient center, and this electron deficient center Br also, this electron deficient center removes bromine. So we got this one, that is RC double bond O and N. So this is the electron deficient center, and plus Br minus, and this electron deficient center, the R alkyl from carbon to nitrogen, migration of alkyl group from carbon to electron deficient nitrogen to form R N Rn and C double bond O. So R N double bond C double bond O. So this is alkyl isocyanate. This alkyl isocyanate, on treating with H2O, we got primary amine and carbon dioxide. So this is the mechanism for Hofmann hypobromide reaction, or simply Hofmann reaction. So what is the steps involved in Hofmann hypobromide reaction? There are 5 steps. This is the step 1 and step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. The first step, halogenation of amide ion, to give an N-haloamide or N-bromamide. And the second step involves the reaction with potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide, which removes hydrogen from NHBr. And third step involves the separation of halide ion from the species having electron deficient nitrogen atom. And the fourth step involves alkyl group migrates from carbon to electron deficient nitrogen to form alkyl isocyanate. And this is the intramolecular rearrangement, because the group migrating from carbon to nitrogen of the same molecule, alkyl group is migrating from carbon to nitrogen of the same molecule. So this rearrangement is called as intramolecular rearrangement. And the last step, alkyl isocyanate on hydrolysis in presence of alkali gives alkyl amine and carbon dioxide. And from reductive amination, in this reaction, if you take a ketone, that is RC double bond OR, ketone, presence of ammonia, and it gives as imine and imine. And reduction with platinum H2 and PT gives an amine. So this is the reductive amination reaction. And reduction of amides is also there, so that is the simple one, reduction of amides. So that is RC double bond O NH2 amides and presence of LiAlH4, that may be 4 hydrogens, and gives RNH2 plus H2O. RCH2NH2. CH2NH2 plus H2O. If we take here CH3, here we got CH3, CH2, NH2. Acetamide gives ethylamine. And now we have a few aromatic amine synthesis. I can explain one by one. So this is the first one, toluene. So toluene upon nitration, presence of HNO3 and H2SO4 gives, this is the 4-nitrotoluene. This one on reduction with nickel H2 and Ni gives, this is the toluidine. Which toluidine? Paratoluidine. This is paratoluidine. And there's next one, toluene on halogenation or bromination gives bromine substituted one, and treating with ammonia and C6H5CH2NH2. This is the product. And acetylation, Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction, that is acetyl acetic anhydride and AlCl3. So this is the product, and treating with NH3 and H2Ni gives CHNH2CH3. This is also substituted aniline. And the same bromination, CH2Br, and treating with NaCN, CH2Cn, and the reduction CH2CH2NH2. And the last one is Toluene on oxidation with potassium permanganate gives benzoic acid, and this benzoic acid treating with PCl3 gives C6H5COCl, and for ammonia gives CONH2, and OBr gives aniline. These are the few small reactions, and we can go for physical properties. So in which physical properties, so before the physical properties we have Schmidt reaction. So this Schmidt reaction is useful for synthesis of aromatic primary amines, that is aniline. Schmidt reaction. So Schmidt reaction is the simple statement: when a solution of an aromatic carboxylic acid in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid is treated with hydrozoic acid HN3 or N3H to form an primary amine, that is aniline, and this reaction is known as Schmidt reaction. So if you write C6 Schmidt reaction, C6H5COOH, that is benzoic acid, treating with N3H, that is hydrozoic acid, N3H, presence of concentrated H2SO4 gives C6H5NH2, that is aniline plus nitrogen N2, plus carbon dioxide CO2. So this reaction is called as Schmidt reaction. Schmidt reaction is the simple one: aromatic carboxylic acids and treating with hydrozoic acid in presence of concentrated H2SO4 gives aromatic primary amines, that is aniline. And now physical properties. Regarding to the amines. Nitrogen in amines is sp3 hybridized, and amines are polar and can have hydrogen bond and melting point, boiling point relatively high for covalent substances. Amines are basic and will turn litmus paper to blue and insoluble in water except of 4 carbons or less. These are soluble, and soluble in 5% of HCl, and fishy smell. And among these also we have some more points, that is lower number of compounds are gases, and from carbon 3 to 11 are volatile liquids, and from carbon 12 onwards are solids. So 1 to 2, that is methylamine and ethylamine, are the gases, and carbon 3 to carbon 11 are volatile liquids, and carbon 12 onwards solids. The lower member have fishy ammonical order, which decreases with the increase in molecular weight. With the result, the solid members are generally odorless. And the lower member are readily soluble in water. The solubility in water decreases, and in organic solvent increases with increasing the molecular weight, increasing with the molecular weight. The boiling point also increases with increasing in molecular weight. The boiling point also increases with increasing in molecular weight. And the solubility in the solubility is the important, that is primary and secondary amines have higher boiling points than the tertiary amines, and the intramolecular hydrogen bonding between molecules of primary as well as secondary amines, primary and secondary amines. And geometry. The nitrogen atom of an amine is typically sp3 dihybridized with the lone pair occupying an sp3 hybridized orbital. So this is the tertiary amine. So this lone pair is sp3 orbital. All four orbitals are arranged in a shape that approximate a tetrahedron with bond angle is 108 degrees, and carbon nitrogen CN bond length is 147, and amines containing three different alkyl groups are chiral compounds. The nitrogen atom has a total of 4 different groups, 3 alkyl groups and a lone pair, and is therefore a chirality center. Compounds of this type are generally not optically active at room temperature because pyramidal inversion occurs quite rapidly, producing a racemic mixture of enantiomers. So this is the R1, R2, R3, and this is the lone pair, and this is R1, R2, R3 and mirror plane. And during pyramidal inversion, the compound passes through a transition state in which the nitrogen atom has sp2 hybridization. This transition state is only about 25 kilojoules per mole, that is 6 kilocalories per mole, higher in energy than the sp3 hybridized geometry. So this is the free energy, Gibbs free energy, and this is the reaction coordinate sp3 tetrahedral, and this is the sp3 tetrahedral, and this is the reaction coordinate, this is the trigonal planar sp2 hybridization, trigonal planar sp2 hybridization. And primary and secondary amines can form intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Primary and secondary amines can form intermolecular hydrogen bonds and typically have higher boiling points than analogous alkenes but lower boiling points than analogous alcohols. So propane boiling point is minus 42 degrees centigrade, whereas ethylamine boiling point is 17 degrees centigrade, and ethanol boiling point is 78 degrees centigrade. The boiling point of amines increases as a function of their capacity to form hydrogen bonds. As a result, primary amines typically have higher boiling points while tertiary amines have lower boiling points. So this is the propylamine, this is the primary amine, boiling point is 49 point something, that is nearby 50 degrees centigrade. And this is the secondary amine, ethyl methylamine, this is the boiling point is 34 degrees centigrade, and this is the trimethylamine, tertiary amine, boiling point is 3 degrees centigrade. So molecular formula is C3H9, C3H9N. And amines with low molecular weight such as trimethylamine typically have fishy like odor. Amines with low molecular weights, lower member have fishy smell. Amines with lower molecular weight are soluble in water as they form hydrogen bonds with water. Higher amines and aromatic amines are insoluble in water. Higher amines and aromatic amines are insoluble in water. And basicity of amines. So far we have learned about Hoffman hypobromide reaction, Schmidt reaction and Curtius reaction, and the mechanism of Schmidt reaction, Hoffman hypobromide reaction, and physical properties of amines. From this we have concluded here, and we will continue tomorrow. We will continue tomorrow. So thank you one and all.